Your financial needs aren't independent of each other, so your financial advisors shouldn't be either. At Mercantile Bank, our experienced United Wealth professionals are united to serve you and your complete financial planning and wealth management needs. Are you just starting your investment journey or need to roll over a retirement plan? Do you need to plan for a loved one with special needs or for your own life after work? Maybe your business needs a succession plan or you want to enhance your employee benefit programs. Whatever steps you need to take, our United Wealth experts are ready to take them with you. Together, we are united.
Hi, this is Ron Kincherf. This is the Business Spotlight brought to you by Mercantile Bank and Rober and Phillips Attorneys at Law. We are joined by Luke Niederhauser from Dot Foods. You are the corporate recruiting manager. So what does a corporate recruiting manager do? Obviously, you're in the hiring field, but the term corporate, is it what do we do basically?
For sure, yeah. So my responsibilities as a corporate recruiting manager is more so on the office positions across Dot Foods.
Okay.
So on the salary side, we have 13 locations in the U.S. and 2 in Canada. Me and myself and my team, we manage those salary positions across the network. And so I oversee that. I also oversee the internship program, which is a big thing for us. And then we also have other corporate recruiting managers that oversee our warehouse hiring and our driver hiring as well.
So they're not under the corporate recruiting the title that you have. They're a separate, I don't say division necessarily, but a separate group.
Yeah, so they're a separate group, but kind of under the same under the recruiting title, I guess I would say.
So is there a different strategy that you use versus what those guys use?
For sure, yeah. So in the corporate side of things, we usually see anywhere from 40 jobs to 50 jobs on average per period open. And on the warehouse and driver side, it's active applications. Applications are coming in every day. We're interviewing people every single day for driver and warehouse jobs.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different strategy, but we work really well together as well. And so we help each other out when that need comes. But for the most part, we kind of have different strategies on how we recruit people.
You have a location in Arizona still, right?
Yep, Bull Lake City.
So do you hire out of Quincy for the, not out of Quincy, but do you guys handle the Arizona hiring?
So on the salary side, yes, we the corporate recruiters facilitate their team on that hiring. On the warehouse and driver side, the drivers do as well. So we're centralized recruiting on the driver side. So what that basically means is we help facilitate and flow the applications to that team. On the warehouse side, we'll get there, I think, over the next year or so, and we want to get centralized. But currently, their Arizona team would handle their application for warehouse.
Okay, but then does the interview take place through you guys or through Arizona?
Through Arizona.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what I was wondering about because
sure.
that would be a unique situation. So what is it like right now in Illinois? I mean, you hear with the political climate right now that Democrats are saying, yeah, we've increased number of jobs, all that type of stuff, and the Republicans are saying this, but what's the status right now after COVID and all that for Illinois?
So I would tell you our business is continuing to grow across the network. In Mount Sterling alone, it's our headquarters. We have about 2,500 people that call Mount Sterling their home
Right.
DC. And so it's really exciting right now. We are bringing in new individuals, both for the salary side of things and also the warehouse and drivers. And I'd say the business in general in that area is continuing to grow.
Are you able to find people, though?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so we have open interviews every Monday, and we welcome people they don't even have to apply for warehouse positions. We welcome them to come in and get an interview right there on the spot, and we average probably about 40 or 50 interviews on a day. And then throughout the whole entire week, we're continuing to interview. And that's more on the warehouse side.
Right.
On the salary side, we have about 30 to 40 jobs open across the network. I would say about 15 to 20 of those are in the Mount Sterling area. And we're constantly getting applications and constantly getting those candidates that are interested in joining Dot's team.
So do you always have positions open?
Yes.
Okay, so is that because of turnover or you're promoting?
That is for promoting. So at Dot Foods, we love to promote from within. We love to watch people grow. My story is exactly that. And we give that opportunity to challenge them, to educate them, and to allow them to grow. And that ultimately turns into promotions, but then turns around. We also have a lot of roles that we add to the department.
Okay.
Maybe the business need grows and we need to add an extra person to that area, and that would be an addition, never from the turnover standpoint.
So what area of Dot has seen the most growth? I got an idea, but I'm just curious. Where have you had to expand in areas that you typically have not over the last 40 years or so?
For sure, yeah. So I'd say the biggest two would probably be our driver and our warehouse team. But another one that comes to mind is our IT team. Our IT team has grown tremendously over the last probably 12 to 24 months. And it's been really exciting to see those roles come on with AI and data analytics. We've had a team kind of grow from that, and it's been really exciting to see that area of the business continuing to grow.
Yeah, and that was my side. Yeah. The analytics side, because I know you've implemented that. And it's been very beneficial as far as cost savings for your organization. Is it difficult to find those type of people? Because that's a very specific need, is finding analytics and data type people. Is that difficult to find when you're in Mount Sterling?
So
Those type of positions.
yeah, I would say we have not struggled overall.
Okay.
We do a really good job creating pipelines, and so one of them would be our internship program. And so we bring young adults in right out of college. They're interns for us for multiple summers. That transitions potentially into a full-time opportunity, and we do a really good job of finding those young adults that are really interested in the data analytics and the IT roles, the app dev roles, and we see that transition into full-time roles.
Where do you find those interns? Are they all local, or are you going out to colleges and recruiting?
Yeah, so we go out to colleges and
You are
recruit.
doing that,
We are
okay.
in that season right now. We will go to 15 universities from the beginning of September to the middle of October, and we recruit all across the country.
But are you specific? So you need analytics guys. Are you looking for colleges that have really good analytics programs, or are you going to the same 15 every year?
No, so we focus on probably about 10 of them every single year we go to, and
Okay.
then the other 5 we kind of branch on based on need, and then the school itself. We also focus a lot on kind of the diversity side of Dot Foods, and we go to schools based on that as well, because we're looking for individuals that bring a lot of different skills to the table, and we're pretty impressed. I was at U of I last weekend talking to individuals, and I talked to students anywhere from the IT side of things to the marketing and sales, all interested in Dot, and all from all across the country.
Now, the younger, the view from older people, of course, of younger people is they don't want to work. You've heard all of those rumors, and it's basically what people said about my generation, your generation. That's my belief in it. But what are you finding with that? I don't know what's the term. Is it Gen X, Gen Z? I don't know what it is right now. But you like the 22 to 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
What is your impression of those type of guys
For
or
sure.
girls?
So I would tell you there is kind of a stereotype around those individuals, but I have not seen it at all.
Okay.
I'm super intrigued by these individuals that we see, young adults coming in, eager to work, willing to ask questions, looking for opportunities to grow, make the business better, and we ultimately see those individuals grow and become leaders in our business. And so it's been exciting to see them kind of break that stereotype when it comes to Dot Foods in general, and I'm excited for the future for those individuals as well.
You used a term that's hot political term, diversity.
Yeah.
You mentioned you're looking for diversity. So what does that mean to Dot Foods?
Yeah, so we know and we believe that everyone has a different perspective on life, a different perspective on work, and we want to challenge that. We want to have a diverse workforce, and so we do a really good job of looking for that, going out and researching that, and recruiting that. And ultimately, we're gonna interview all the candidates equally, and we're going to look for the best talent for the role. But when it comes to the diverse perspective, it's important to Dot. It's important to be a little bit different when you look around the room.
Right. COVID created a remote workforce, and a lot of businesses have had to shift their viewpoint on that, whether it's a hybrid or complete, offsite. Well,
Yeah.
I really work hard at this, Luke. How has that affected you guys?
For sure. So I would tell you, so when COVID hit, I was in the warehouses. My career started in the warehouse in Mount Sterling. When COVID hit, I was in the warehouse, and I transitioned into my current role in 2022, so almost 2 years ago. We went from kind of probably more structure in the office to more of a hybrid schedule. So a lot of our office positions require the individuals to be in the office either 2 or 3 days a week, which is awesome. I think it's a big win for our employees. I think from Dot's perspective, we still see the same quality of work getting done, even though the individuals are working from home. From a standpoint of a warehouse and driver, probably not as much work from home opportunities, if any,
Yes.
which is understandable.
Right.
But in general, Dot has done a really good job of kind of adapting from that COVID.
But are you flexible about that? So you're interviewing me, and I'm a newlywed, let's say, and I want to have a family, and I'm a female. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. And hey, I love your position, but I live in Beardstown. I really need to stay at home. Do you guys consider that, or say, nope, this has got to be hybrid? You got to be there 3 days a week?
Yeah, so fully remote jobs, when you say something like that,
Yeah.
hey, I need to be fully remote, those jobs do exist at Dot. We do have some of those. I would say they're probably on a smaller scale. A lot of our roles are more on the hybrid across the business.
But how flexible are you? If that
Yeah, so if the individual said, for example, I have a current coworker of mine that says, hey, I need to be able to be home on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays because my kid's in daycare. So she works in the office Mondays and Thursdays. And so we give her that flexibility to do that. So typically, I would tell you the hybrid schedule is pretty much locked in, where you're going to
Okay.
be in the office either 2 or 3 days.
And it's
But there
important-
is some flexibility with what days those are.
But having people on your campus is important to you guys, isn't it?
For sure, 100%. Our people is what makes Dot Foods be successful. We've been around since 1960, which is super exciting, and we've had tremendous growth. Our people are because of that, and our leadership.
If you were talking to other businesses, let's say you go to a business meeting or something like that, after one of those noon luncheons, and you had to tell people about what's made Dot successful or what you feel are successful hiring practices that they may want to look at or may implement, what would you suggest? Would it be like 3 things you'd say, that generic things?
So I would tell you.
I put you on the spot, didn't I?
Yeah, for sure you did. 3 things that I would look for when it comes to recruiting the right talent. I would say from a Dot perspective, we're looking for people that we have values at Dot, and we hold those values extremely high. Our interview process, breaks it down in a lot of ways, but one of them is through our values. Humility would be a big one for us. Curiosity would be another one. Someone that is humble about their work, that's willing to work in a team aspect. All of our departments across the business thrive on a team aspect. Curiosity, we want to get better, we want to continuously improve. Robert Tracy used to always say, we want to think big and change the world, but we always have to act small, and we pride ourselves on that. We want to change the world, and I think we are in a lot of ways in what we do, but we always will act small. We will always act like a family business. So that's another thing we look for. Another one would be dependability, someone that is willing to come in and work hard, get after it, kind of a go-getter in essence, is someone that we look for. Those are probably the 3 things that we.
So you which are great, but how do you know in the hiring process when you're talking to me about that position that I fill those or check all those boxes?
Sure.
That's got to be a little bit of a challenge.
At Dot, we do a panel interview all the way across. The
Oh, really?
From a driver to a warehouse worker to a corporate position. All of our interviews are done in a panel process where we ask questions that bring those answers out. We ask BI questions that generate responses in a way that give us a snippet of what that person does or did, and they're all based on our values. And so that's kind of what we lead with. We also have other things that break it down, and then if eventually the person receives a hiring manager interview, what we call it the next step, they do another good job of kind of reacting or re-asking those questions to learn more.
What I found interesting too is we were talking before the interview that this is a busy season for hiring. I'm just curious why this would be a busy season, busier than any other month for Dot Foods.
For sure,
because you do the same thing every month.
We do, and I would tell you, Dot across the business, 12 months out of the year is extremely busy. But we call this fall volume in our warehouse, and what that basically means, as schools ramp back up, as restaurants, people are going out to eat, as grocery stores ramp back up, our business picks back up. Of course, we're Dot Foods. We carry food. We carry a lot of products. But as those seasons come, and this season comes, it requires us to hire a little bit more people. And all of our employees across Dot Foods networks are full-time employees. It's never temporary work. We're bringing someone on to be there for the long haul and hopefully many years to come.
But what makes so is it like I think about Christmas hiring where hire, but is it only a temporary position then if you're hiring them for the increase in volume? Because volume will go back down.
Yeah, and so we do a really good job of planning that volume. Our leadership team across the business, especially in the warehouse and driver side, they do an excellent job of planning that volume and forecasting that volume. So when we bring someone in for the holidays is what we're ramping up for the Halloweens and the candy. And for the Thanksgiving and Christmas, we bring those people in full time.
Okay.
And they're going to stay full time. They're going to get their hours throughout the weeks. A really cool thing about Dot that some people don't know is our flexible schedules. So our warehouse team, we have a dry, we have a frozen, and we have a cooler. All 3 temperatures offer different schedules. Schedules that work 3/12, so they work 36 hours a week. They're all 4 days a week, which is fantastic. That's where I started, and I absolutely loved it. And then we also offer 4/10. So giving the people the ability to pick the schedule that's best for them, and then we guarantee their hours throughout the whole entire year, not just for a season.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
all right.
Luke,
Luke,
thanks for having me.
No problem. Luke Niederhauser. He is I wrote it down, corporate recruiting manager
Thanks for having me.
No problem, at Dot Foods. This has been the Business Spotlight brought to you by Rober and Phillips Attorneys at Law and Mercantile Bank.